Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and today we are going over the new Cashmerette Loring dress, my review of it, my surprising review of it, how much I really like it. We'll talk about that in a second, but before, I wasn't sure when that was going to air, but before we get into all of that, I wanted to tell you about today's Love Notions Feature Friday pattern, because it is a very good one. So today's pattern is the Cadence Dress and Top. This is my favorite shift dress pattern. I love it. I wear both my versions quite frequently. It's just an easy throw on dress to be able to, just an easy sundress. It's just a really excellent pattern. Absolutely love mine. And, highly recommend this one. It's a good woven t-shirt pattern. It's a good shift dress, all sorts of things. Anyway, it is $5 today only, so it's a great time to grab it. And I have a new code this month. So with the code 10WHITNEY, so that's third quarter's code, you can get 10% off that sale price. So it takes a little bit extra off that $5 price, which is already a fantastic price to be grabbing this pattern. So anyway, it is a wonderful one to grab, and make sure you grab it today because it is $5 today only. All right, let's get to the actual video. I'll see you over there. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and today I am here with my Cashmerette. This is their club pattern of the month, the Loring dress. I've made my version, and I want to do kind of a pattern review today and kind of talk about it a little bit. If you missed it, I actually did a full sew along for this dress on the channel, so you're going to want to go back and check that out if this is one that you want to grab. Now it is a club pattern, but if you buy the base membership this month, so we're in July of 2024, if you buy the just the base membership, because that can be on a month-by-month basis, you can just buy 1 month of it, you will get this pattern. So if this is one that you're interested in and just want to do the month, you can basically buy the pattern that way, as well as get all the other bells and whistles that go along with the lowest tier. Yeah, I have the all access, which is the top tier, and you pay that by the year, so that gives you access to all back patterns as well. I pay for that with my own money. I love Cashmerette patterns, and it's just a really, I really enjoy the club because of that. But that being said, this is this month's pattern, and I would like to talk about it a little bit because this was a big surprise to me. So Cashmerette, you'll notice on the channel, every now and again, I do sew-alongs for their pattern of the month. Just really when it fits into my schedule. I really enjoy doing sew-alongs, and again, I love their patterns. So when those fit into my schedule, I do like, and they ask, I do like to take advantage of that. And they had reached out, gosh, a couple months ago now. So I did the Haskell back in March. And then they had reached out for another one, and I just couldn't fit it into my schedule. But I said, what about July's pattern? You know, I could probably get by your deadline July's pattern. So without even knowing what the pattern was, I kind of said, yeah, I could do whatever July's pattern is. So anyway, they sent me the pattern, and I was taking a look at it. So this is the Loring dress, and it is very much a cottagecore dress. Let's talk about it a little bit, and then we'll talk about my thoughts and stuff like that. So this is the Loring. It comes obviously with a lot of different ruffle options, like this neckline ruffle option, a puffed sleeve with a ruffle option, and then the ruffle kind of tier here on the bottom of the skirt. It has a drawstring with elastic in the back, so the drawstring has elastic. It's elastic, and then the fabric drawstrings with these really fun tassels. I show how to do all of that in the sew along. But this pulls over your head. There's no fastenings. It's just a darted bodice, and comes in their full size range, all that jazz. Just a really fun and interesting pattern. But you don't have to make all of these ruffles. So you can, for instance, omit the neckline ruffle and just do the puff sleeved and the tier. Or you can omit the tier and do an above the knee dress and keep the other ruffles. Or you can get rid of all the ruffles and do it sleeveless. You know, you can do sleeveless with the neckline. I mean, you can do all of the different variations on this dress. In the sew along, I show you how to do all the ruffles, so you can omit or add as you would like, depending on the version you'd want to make. Okay, so that is kind of the pattern in a nutshell, and we'll talk about what the sizes that I made and that sort of thing here in a second. But when I got the file, I was looking at the dress and I was like, okay, very cottagecore, very much on trend right now, and I totally see that. But I'm like, but is that my style? I mean, I was still going to do the sew along and all that kind of thing. And then, so then I got into making it, which was so much fun to make. All of these ruffles are like finished with, you can finish them with a hem. I did a rolled hem on my machine, but they have the edge like popping out, like off the top. It's just a different way to do a tiered. It's not just a gathered tier, and love it. I just think it's such a cool detail because I also feel like you could do, these ruffles are cut on the bias, so you could leave these completely raw if you wanted to and kind of go for that deconstructed look. I think that would be really cool. I shouldn't say that. The skirt ruffle on the bottom is not cut on the bias, but these ruffles are. But even still, you could just leave those raw for kind of that deconstructed look if you wanted, just for something kind of different. But I was asked to do all of the ruffles, just so, again, you guys could see all the different steps in the pattern, and I follow the pattern verbatim to make it very easy to follow along instructions and the sew along. But I was like, I don't know, like if this is really my style. I feel like if I were making this for myself, I do love the pattern. It's just a really great base pattern. I was like, I could see maybe me doing the sleeveless version with just the regular V-neck, and then maybe the tier at the bottom of the skirt. Like maybe that would be an option I would make, or even just an option that's a very simple above the knee. And there's pockets in this as well. But I did really love the tassel on the drawstring, and that looked really interesting to me. So anyway, got into it, had a lot of fun sewing it, and was very surprised once I put it on my body how much I like it. So I'm gonna pop some video and pictures of me actually in this dress. I was very surprised. In fact, immediately I was like, I can't have those kind of ruffles on my chest. I love this dress, and I am so glad that I had to make the full ruffle version because I probably wouldn't have done that had I not been required to. So this is your reminder, and I've got another Style with Stephanie video coming out later this month, and we're talking about style rules and like when to break them, how to break them, that sort of thing, and just challenging myself to kind of think outside the box, try new things, don't put myself in a style box completely. Like I like having rules. That's my personality, but remembering to push the envelope a little bit and try new things, because I would have never said that cottagecore is part of my, aesthetic. I love it on other people and I appreciate the style, but not something that I'm necessarily drawn to for myself, because I tend just to do a little bit more minimalistic lines, like not a lot of ruffles and stuff. I really like this. And I even asked my husband, I said, okay, my husband is not a moat. He is just not he's pretty even keeled all the time. He is not like abundant in compliments or anything. That's just not him. And so when he does say a compliment on something, I know it's like, oh, like that actually really did catch your eye. But I asked him, I said, truthfully, what do you think of this dress? And he's like, it's okay, which is I answered everything. And I said, no, really, like I didn't think I would like this style on me, and I think I do. Like, what are your thoughts? And he said, I like this dress. I like this dress on you. In fact, I like this dress a lot more than some of your other dresses. And then he just left it at that and left the room. And I'm like, okay, so I don't know which dresses he doesn't like. I don't know which ones that he likes this one. Not that it matters completely, but I'm like, okay, I guess every time I get dressed in a dress, I'll just be like, maybe this is one of the ones he doesn't like much. I don't know. But I found that very interesting. So very pleasantly surprised with how much I love this Loring dress. Now, will I make the other version? Probably. Number one, I just thought it was really fun the way that these ruffles were put together. And I would like to make, I think, a sleeveless one that doesn't have any ruffles on it, just the tier on the skirt. I think that would be it'd be cool in a solid. That would really highlight the details of the pattern, but it'd also be kind of cool in a print. And I've got so many different fabrics. This dress is meant for, or the pattern calls for, medium to lightweight wovens. So, and things with a little bit more body. So like linen and cotton lawn, even cotton poplin, things with a little bit more body. Because when your fabric has a little bit more body, you get the more dramatic ruffles, like, that you want them to stand out a little bit more and not be weepy. And there's a lot of fabric in this skirt. And so when you've got fabric with a little bit more body, that is going to highlight in the fullness of the skirt as well. But that's not to say that you can't use a rayon challis or something along those lines if you do want your ruffles to be a little less pronounced and a little bit drapier, and if you want your skirt to fall in on itself a little bit more and not hold structure as much, you could definitely do something with more drape. I chose a linen rayon blend that I actually got this from Joann's because this is a fabric hungry dress. She does break up the fabric requirements depending on what ruffles you want to do, but because some of these ruffles are cut on the bias, it's just a fabric hungry dress. And there's a lot of panels here in the skirt. There's 3 panels on the front, 3 on the back. So if you're doing the full, all the ruffles, it takes a lot of fabric, just so you know. But I didn't have anything in my stash, which is crazy to me because I have so much fabric in my stash. So I had to do a little bit of shopping, but I got this for a great price. And I really like this fabric with this dress. So it is their linen look classic, I think. It comes in a whole bunch of different colors, but it is a viscose linen blend. And it worked really, really well for this dress. So that was one that wasn't listed that, I found worked really well. Again, full sew along on the channel. I've used contrasting thread on mine just so people could see what I was doing. So I've used this kind of a teal thread all throughout the dress. So that as a sew along, it's a functional decision. But I kind of like the way that it turned out. There's elastic here at the sleeve, and then elastic again, like I said, at the drawstring. So it's not really elastic all the way around the waist. It's on the back part of the drawstring. So you can tie the drawstring as loose or as tight as you want, but I do really like that waist definition. I made the size, I actually went ahead and made the straight size 12 with the GH cup. Often I do the 10 GH and then grade to a 12 and then just usually leave it as a 12 for the skirt because usually my hips are actually like an 8 a lot of times, but usually with the fuller skirts, it doesn't really matter. So I just keep it as the 12. It just makes sewing easier. But I decided to do a straight size 12 just because I'm a little bit larger right now than normal. And this is very comfortable. I can get it on and off my head really easily. So I kind of ride that line depending on how my weight's fluctuating, if I'm a 12 GH or a 10 GH. But I made the 12, straight 12 GH. I left the bodice alone, didn't do anything to it, but I did shorten the skirt a total of 3 inches. So 1.5 inches on the skirt portion and 1.5 inches on the ruffle because I'm only 5'2", and 3 inches is usually what I need to lose with Cashmerette patterns. I also a lot of times shorten the bodice, but I think Cashmerette drafts for a little bit of a shorter waisted body, especially in the size 12 to 32 size range. Which actually fits me really well because I do have a shorter waist, a higher waist. And I was noticing that some of my, not all, but some of my Cashmerette patterns, I was cutting up a little bit too high. Like this one, for instance. This is the Francona. I could have probably gotten away without shortening the bodice on this and just shortening the skirt. So anyway, it's fine, but I'm like, I'm going to quit shortening the bodice on Cashmerette patterns and just take all the length I need to take out at the bottom half. So that's what I did on this one, and I think it worked out really, really well. It's probably what I'll do going forward. I cut it out with my projector, which worked out really, really well. Really enjoyed doing that. So yeah, folks, that is my dress. And I hope that I want you to take away from this that don't immediately dismiss something. Try it, I mean, I get it. This was a fabric hungry, like that was a lot of investment in fabric for me to possibly not like it. But maybe you try something in a wearable muslin fabric, and maybe it's not something that's this fabric hungry. Like maybe you try I don't know, some other style that you didn't think you would like on yourself, just to keep things fresh and new. And maybe it's just going to a store and trying on that silhouette, even if it doesn't fit you great, but to get an idea of, oh, actually, I kind of do like this on my body, and I didn't think I would. But yeah, this is your reminder to push the envelope, to try some new things. You may be surprised, like I am surprised. This is actually, I mean, I think this is going to get quite a bit of wear this summer and into the fall because I think this color lends itself really well to go into the fall too. So like it's still a summer, like it'll be cool because the fall a lot of times is kind of warm here, but you want to move into like fall colors and stuff. But I think this could totally work. It would be really cute with boots, even if you wanted to kind of switch from heeled sandal into a boot. I think that could be a lot of fun. Great with splats. I mean, you can kind of go many different directions with this. I also have a pair of heels that are this colored teal that would be really fun with this dress too. So anyway, that is my Loring dress. Things, if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We have a lot of really fantastic content coming up in July, August, really through the rest of the year. Jenny and I have been busy planning a whole bunch of content through the rest of the year. We've got some really fun plans for you guys. So stay tuned. You definitely don't want to miss anything, so make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss anything. I also have a standalone tutorial for how to make tassels without a tassel maker, like how to make some tassels if you want to add tassels to any of your drawstrings. It's a kind of a fun little thing to do, if you're doing it to a top or to the dress, whatever. So anyway, be on the lookout for that as well. What else do we have coming up? I have a sew the look I want to do this month. I have another tutorial I would like to do this month. I've got another video with Stephanie this month. I've got a whole bunch of really good things. So again, hit that subscribe button. Okay, guys, that is all I have for today. I hope you have enjoyed this one. I hope you get some sewing in. I hope you try something new. Push yourself out of your box a little bit. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good week. Bye.